Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you some supplies I bought to organize my college papers and also my organization process for my college papers. If you're going into college right now, I would highly suggest you get some folders and some divisors to organize all your sheets and all your notebooks, because you will eventually need things you had in the first semester at the end of the course. So I suggest keeping everything very organized and not throwing away any papers and any notes. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So starting with what I got these tabs for putting on the folders so I know which folder has what, and I also got this periodic table because I don't know, I thought it was cute and I liked it, and I'm probably not going to use it because I already did chemistry, but I liked it and I wanted it, so I just got it. Next, I bought 2 packs of 10 slim transparent folders. These ones I'm going to use for dividing different subjects into the bigger folders I got. So, come on camera, focus. Okay, there you go. So they are very thin, like that, and you can put your sheets right into them. So I have 20 of them, and then I bought this really cheap folders to put my notebooks and also my papers in. I have 2 that are slightly slimmer, these 2, one that's yellow and one that's red, and then I have a blue one that's a little bit thicker, and finally a green one that is much bigger. And this green one is actually I'm gonna put all of my sheets from the first 2 years of college, because this is what we call the basic cycle of engineering. So we have the same subjects that all engineers have, all engineerings have, such as calculus, physics, and introduction to a specific engineering and stuff like that. So this is all going to come in here, and again I'm gonna divide each subject with this transparent sheet. For example, calculus 1, physics 1, physics 3, physics 4, and stuff like that. They all are going to have a separate sheet, separate folder inside this big green folder. So today I'll be organizing this big folder here, which has all my papers from college, which adds to 3 years of college. And it's not closing anymore because there's so much stuff, so I really have to get this organized and check out if I have other notebooks and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna grab all the material I have so far and I'm gonna put it here. So I just grabbed all the material I'll be organizing today, which are these 2 big folder files and all of these notebooks, a couple more notebooks, and smaller notebooks. So I'm not sure if all the notebooks are gonna fit the folders, so I'm gonna prioritize the papers and then I'll check if the notebooks actually fit. If they don't, I'm gonna leave them in these, but if they do, I'm gonna put them in the folder just to keep everything in the same place. Okay guys, so we're just getting started. First, I'm gonna take some papers from the big folder and I'm gonna separate each subject into a separate slim transparent folder that I bought. And just so you know, the first 2 years of all engineering here in Brazil, start with the same basic subjects. They change from one engineering to another, but very slightly. And the most basic subjects are physics, calculus, and experimental physics. We have four subjects on calculus, four subjects on physics, and four on experimental physics, because there's so many things we have to learn about calculus and physics that we have to divide into different classes or different subjects throughout different semesters. So the first 2 years go from calculus 1 to calculus 4, one each semester, and the same goes for physics and experimental physics. That's why I have so many folders for each subject, which I'm divided in calculus 1, calculus 2, calculus 3, and calculus 4, and so on. The same goes for physics and experimental physics. This way, I know exactly the things I learned in each calculus and each physics I took. And there are a couple other subjects that also come from the basic cycle, these 2 year cycles, but it's more to mechanical engineering and it changes for each engineering. What I'm gonna do next is actually gonna be very painful for some of you, but since my notebooks were in a very bad shape and they were very thick and I knew they weren't going to fit in any folders, what I decided to do was to take out the pages I wanted from each notebook and put them into the slim folders. And like I said before, they were quite in a bad shape, so it was easy to remove each paper and each part I wanted to take out. Even though I had to kind of destroy them a little bit, I'm not sad about it because they were already not looking that great. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that and separate each section of the notebook into the specific folder it belongs to. For those of you who are wondering, I'm doing mechanical engineering here in Brazil, and I am on the 7th semester out of 10 here in Brazil. There are 5 years of mechanical engineering, and it's usually 5 years for all engineerings. And each class has about 2 hours, and we usually have 7 to 6 subjects each semester. So there are plenty of subjects and plenty of material to read and to study. That's why it's considered a difficult area of study. For those of you who are thinking about going into engineering or actually any college, any area of study in college, I highly advise you to get really organized in the first semesters. Just keep everything in an organized space where you have all the papers and all the notes you took in each class and each subject, because you will eventually need those notes if you forget something like I usually do or anything like that. So really just make sure you are very organized and try to study hard, because I know sometimes it can be very I know sometimes teachers don't encourage you to study, but you have to find a way to encourage yourself, to motivate yourself. For example, I watch videos about studying, I watch study with me videos, I watch other YouTubers who work hard, and I feel motivated to also work hard. My YouTube channel also motivated me to study more because I want to motivate you to study more. So try to find a way to stay motivated and just start studying right at the beginning of the semester so you are on top of things and things don't get out of control or anything like that. So I just finished organizing all my papers into the plastic thin folders, and now I'm gonna put them in the big folders I bought. My idea was to put all the subjects from the first 2 years into that big green folder, but they didn't fit. So I also used the blue one, and I divided them into two types of basic cycle subjects. So the green one has calculus and physics, and the blue one has all the other subjects I had in those 2 years. And for the smaller folders, the red and the yellow one, I'm gonna use for the 5th and the 6th semester. So all my subjects all the papers and notebooks from my subjects for the fifth period went into the red folder, and for the sixth period went into the yellow folder. And I'm also using those white tags I bought to put the name and the subject I had into the folders, so I could put them on the shelf and I would know exactly what was in them. And I highly suggest using the same tags and putting the tags in the same location. So when you put your folders in the shelf, on the shelf, the tags look nice and they look on the same level and you can see them properly. I was just finishing putting everything into the folders, and I really didn't like how it ended up because some folders were kind of fat and they didn't close properly, and some subjects and some stuff from the subjects, like these books, I had to put somewhere else because they didn't fit, and I really wanted to put everything together. So one thing I decided to do was to, in the next day, go buy more folders because I filmed this at night, so I had to wait for the next day. I was going to buy more folders to put my stuff in. Anyway, I just decided to put them on the shelf to see how it looked like, and I thought it was cute, even though they were kind of fat, so there is light distance between them. Hi guys, it's the next day, so I went out to buy some more folders because the ones I bought yesterday were not enough. So you can see the green and the blue folders are a little bit fat, so there isn't enough space for the papers and the notebooks I put in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fix it with these new folders. So the first thing I did was to grab my folders from the shelves and start working on them. I wanted to put the stuff that was in the blue folder into another folder. I chose the green one because it's still the basic cycle. And I wanted to put all that was experimental physics. So also the books I had in those white basket things that was not in the folder. And I didn't want to fix anything from the big green folder because there was calculus and physics there. I just wanted a separate folder just for experimental physics because there's so much stuff that it really needs a folder for itself. And I was just organizing it so everything would fit and it didn't look fat. And the blue folder I used for the other basic cycle subjects. I also put the rest of the books and papers that didn't fit before. And I also noticed that the red folder, which had the fifth semester material, was a little bit fat and wasn't closing properly. So I just changed into the bigger red folder and just changed the tags to this folder. And that was basically it. Now just putting everything back onto the shelf, and it looks much nicer because there are more folders now, and I don't know, I think it looks better this way because they are not fat and they are not creating spaces between them. They are just very stuck together. And I was also organizing my shelves so it looked better and putting everything in order. Okay guys, so that's what it looks like right now, and I really like it. If you guys were wondering why these three empty folders are here, is because these two are actually gonna have more things, so I'll probably add this one to this one, and the same goes for this one because I'm taking some subjects that I should have taken before right now, and that's where this is gonna go, and this one is gonna be for the next semester, so I just bought it already. And then these are kind of empty, but these have art books and art stuff. These have my plastic folders, my these white tags, and a couple of books from college. And here I have some notebooks and books from college as well. So that was it guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to leave your like